In the previous episode, I showed you how I use Suno to create tracks and how I use DistroKid to distribute the music. At this point, I have successfully uploaded music to Spotify using the DistroKid. As you can see, I created the profile. I already uploaded the song. And then if we do go to the YouTube page, I also updated some information. I added the promotional video. I uploaded the song for the track. Now that's the easy part, right? And the idea here is very simple. People either gonna listen to your track or they're gonna watch your video. But the thing is, specifically with Spotify, they get 120,000 songs per day uploaded to their channel. As you can imagine, that's a lot of tracks, and you have to start advertising and you have to start using other tools to help you manage your career, right? So let's say somebody seen your music video, they've seen your ad, or they listen to your Spotify song and now they would like to find out more about you, so they would go to your website. So the philosophy that I have when I build the websites, when I say SEO optimization, is not just for the search engine, but it's just overall the structure of a website should help you segment your customers and offer services to that customer. If somebody lands on my website, they're gonna go and they're gonna check out the music. As you can see, I already have my track right here. There's also embedded videos from YouTube, and then I immediately put the links where they can go next, right? So since we're on the music page, let's go to the book page. And as I said, we're segmenting the customers. So we have private corporate events, we have festivals and tours, and then residences, and then brand activations, aka sponsorships. So when the customer clicks on this link, he's gonna open up the calendar where they can request interest in that particular date, or they can always call 762 Aguocha and talk to our AI bot that is basically going to also help them book an appointment. Right? Then we have a collaboration, and as you can see, there's a little promotional video right here. Let's check it out. Paper Plane Dreams, right? That is going to land on someone's desk, but they meet a lot of closed doors, and at the end of the day, nobody knows about it, right? So, and then of course there's a Spotify collaboration playlist available right here, and of course there's a calendar right here to schedule a meeting. Next customer is media requests, and essentially same thing. But essentially, as you can see, we build pages for each customer segment. The other ways of making money is obviously through the store. So as you can see, there are two ways to set up the store using the CRM. So you can either embed the products, whether you use Shopify or you use Zazzle. I personally use Zazzle for fulfillment because I don't feel like I'm going to have 10,000 t-shirts orders. But if somebody clicks this link right here, they go to the product page where they can order this t-shirt automatically. I state clearly that we charge 10% artist royalty on products sold through Zazzle. The other option is actually to use GHL to create your own store. And then as you can see, this is the page that you see right here. And then this is the product. And then this is the store that you can build within your GHL automatically, right? So you always have those options. And actually this particular example shows you that, like when somebody asks like, okay, how much is going to cost to set something up like this for a DJ where you have a store? I can't really answer that question unless you tell me what else do you need within that infrastructure. If you are just embedding pages from Zazzle when you are managing it all on your own, or you want us to handle the entire store, based on an answer, that's going to be the price. But essentially, I already mentioned that I'm doing everything through the CRM. I'm big fan. I'm a huge fan of Go High Level. There's a Zoho, there's a Salesforce, there's a whole bunch of them. The reason I like Go High Level is because it just offers, I feel like, so much more in one package. I can buy a phone number, so that's exactly how we purchased that phone number, 762 Aguocha. You can create mail campaigns. So in just those two examples, you don't need Twilio and you don't need Shopify. And all of those things actually going to cost you. You also have a social media planner. If you're going to use something with a third party, again, you have to somehow use different services for the CRM to communicate with different platforms. And it's just the complexity grows. The thing is, I'm not against other CRMs, but once you start adding more services, the complexity grows and the price of creating this product grows as well. So for that reason, we're going to stick with GHL, but the methods that I'm using here, you can use throughout different CRMs. So the prerequisites of setting this website and making sure that it's actually working within the CRM actually starts here. So this is your company page, just basic information. But what I like about this particular setup is that, and the CRM in general, is that you are going to have your contacts populated right here. And it doesn't matter if they called you, if they send you a direct message through Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, it doesn't matter. All of that contact information is going to pile up right here. As you can see earlier, I already made a phone call inquiring about the private event for DJ Aguocho to host. And as you can see, the system already created and updated the opportunity. And it also sent out the email telling customer that, hey, thank you for your interest. Your next step is to book event coordination call. So now that we talked about the benefits of using CRM, let's take a deeper dive at what is actually happening in the back end. So this is the opportunity tab, and this is your pipeline. So remember how I mentioned that we have multiple services that we offer. Either it's an event booking, collaboration request, media inquiries, or somebody's trying to return a product that they purchased through our store. We have a different pipeline for all of those customers. So we're going to stick with event bookings. As you can see, we have a new lead. Remember when I called, 484 operator called, the system automatically took that information and tagged the customer and placed that customer in our event booking pipeline as a new lead. This option right here can show me the phone call transcript. You can see all the tags that the system has added, and then you can also jump back again into the conversation. We've been on the previous page. It's just basically going to take you right back. You can choose who can see this information. So if you have event manager and you are running, let's say, a wedding venue or any other venue, you can basically see all of those requests here, and you can move them into a different stage, either right from here, or if the customer is lost or abandoned, you can also move them here. But for now, let's keep it here. And I'm just going to very quickly show you other stages of the pipeline. So when the customer calls or sends the text message, they are populated into our new lead. Then we have intake completed, consultation scheduled, consultation completed and qualified, quote and contract sent, contract signed, deposit paid, event confirmed, pre-event prep, event week, day of event, event completed, post-event follow-up, and then long-term nurture. All right, the next step for this whole system to work is actually create custom fields. We have total of over 120 custom fields, and they help us populate this form right here. So if we go back to the customer profile and we're going to scroll down, do you see there's a form right here? If we click it, it's going to help me populate all the information that I need about this customer. So again, when I'm preparing for the event, it's going to help me to make sure that we have all the information that I need. Either it's creating a contract, whether it's updating the team, Everybody has access to this information. So super, super helpful. We're not using Google Forms anymore. We just populate everything inside Go High Level, or again, you can do it in your CRM, but very, very, very helpful feature. Another important factor to have this whole magic happen behind the scenes is creating tags. So we have almost 100 tags, and they go from booked, collaboration, status update, apps for our internal team. This helps us understand clearly what is happening, where the customer is in the pipeline, and it also helps trigger the workflows, which is a nervous system of your business operation. Next prerequisite is creating contract templates. At this point, for this setup, I created two contracts, DJ Aguocho collaboration agreement and DJ Aguocho private event performance agreement. As I mentioned earlier, you do not need 50 different apps anymore. You can just use just this one platform. You can replace all the docs. And the benefit is, once you're dealing with the customer, you always know where to grab your contracts from, and everything is just sitting in one place, right? All right, next, this is the look at our payment tab and products. You're gonna see two products here. You're gonna see DJ Aguocho private event performance, which we charge $5,000, and then there's a t-shirt. If I'm gonna click on DJ Aguocho private event performance, as you can see, included in online store is not selected, and this is why when we go to the store, within product list, look at that. All right, so if I am to select this feature right here, it's actually going to show up in our online store in our collection view. So this is why you don't see it here. All right, now that we covered the basics of the prerequisites that you need for your system to work automatically, let's look at the nervous system, which is workflows. As you can see, I created folders so I can keep my workflows organized. And since we are following a customer who is inquiring about the private event, those workflows are going to live in following folders: intake and routing, job scheduling and work in progress, contracts and billing, pre-event operations, day of event operations, post-event follow-up, long-term nurture. There's also support and system logic and social media chatbots to make sure that we do not miss any request, any message. Now that you're familiar with the folders and the steps and the pipeline and the tags and custom fields and the calendars that are being integrated, just in case if I forgot to mention this. If you are to go to this page right here, right, and you're gonna click start booking. When you book the event and you're gonna click select, this is actually going to trigger a workflow. So let's look at one of those workflows. As you can see, the trigger is customer booked an appointment, and this is the calendar where that customer booked the appointment. Again, remember I mentioned segmentation of a customer, whether it's a private event, whether it's a collaboration, and as you can see, we have all of those calendars right here, so we can customize absolutely everything, right? So we're going to cancel that. So the trigger is going to be booking in the private event calendar. It's going to automatically assign these tags right here. It's going to create a new opportunity lead, and it's also going to update the opportunity value. So since we are charging $5,000 for a DJing event, is going to assign the $5,000 value to the customer. We're going to see it right here. When we go back to the opportunity, that $5,000 was automatically added on this side. So we're going to cancel. And the next thing, what I want the system to do, once we actually send this information, is going to send the email and going to say, thank you for booking. At this point, please schedule your coordination call. And as you can see, there's a customer right here. Guess what? That's 484 operator right here who called earlier. And at this point, we're giving it a wait. We're going to wait for 4 hours, and then system is going to check if the tags includes status consultation scheduled. If it is, it's not going to do anything. If that tag is missing, the system is going to automatically send the email, and then is a reminder asking person to schedule that call. So first of all, it's going to send that email. And then what's going to do is going to send an internal notification to me to say, hey, you have a customer who booked an appointment, but they did not schedule consultation yet. So if you do not want to lose your customer, you know your customer is hot, they called you better call them right now. So that's what the system is doing. I'm going to go ahead, I'm actually going to show you that the Go High Level recently added additional feature where you can actually have the system call back customer automatically. It is AI powered, so you can actually create a task saying, hey, the customer didn't book consultation appointment, book automatically and schedule it yet. Another thing that I need to remind you is those things are not free. So every single time the system calls, there's a charge. The charge can go anywhere from 10 cents per minute. So those are the things that the customer have to think about it and consider when we're creating those workflows. So at this point, I opted not to do a phone call. I just created an internal notification and I can use the Go High Level to call directly from the same number, which is 762 Aguocha. Okay, so this was the intake workflow. Let's assume that the customer scheduled the appointment. So as you can see, we have a job scheduling work in progress, and then we are dividing the customer, or we're segmenting the customer further, and we are creating folders for each workflow so our development team can actually easily navigate and make adjustments as needed. So within the book service automation, as you can see, we have a private event coordination call booked. So let's click on it as well and just to show you what is actually happening in the middle. So once the consultation is scheduled, we're going to update the pipeline opportunity and the system is going to automatically move the customer to the next step. We're going to assign it to the user and then we're going to do the SMS and email sequence and also internal notification. As you can see, every single step that you are required to do when dealing with a customer is now built into the workflows. We have a workflow that coordination call completed. What happens after? It sends reminders to a DJ to set up a quote. So once that's done, we're going to move to contract and billing. And as you can see, there are 3 steps in this folder, which is private event quote and contract sending, contract signed, deposit paid, event confirmed. Next, we're going to go to pre-event operations. And again, private event, 7-day till event checklist reminder, event operation workflow. And at this point, you can follow that logic all the way till long nurture when the event is done and we are basically sending some sort of either newsletter or if we're doing a tour, if we have a new merch. So in a nutshell, once you created your songs, once they are posted online, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Spotify, if you need a system, a CRM to handle your day-to-day operations, some sort of automation for the customer that helps you track the progress, track where the customer is within the system, to provide team and access to the customer data so everybody's on the same page. Again, whatever your setup is, at this point, there's enough workflows and triggers and tags to do that. If you are a DJ, if you're a videographer, and you need a similar setup, I am known as 484 operator with chatbot farm.ai, connecting business to the grid.